Hey guys, Asher coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. I'm glad to have you all here. Send some positive vibes, some love your way today if you need it. You know, I used to do these all the time, videos like this, where I would build who I think are pretty random. Some new, mostly new-ish champions, legendaries, and just kind of give them a test run. Not the big names that we all know in the game, but more obscure champions. Maybe you guys have some of these champions sitting around in the vault. Maybe you're unsure of whether to put your resources into them. So today, I've maxed out 5 champions pretty much completely arbitrarily, and I'm going to go ahead and rank them and review them for you guys. We're going to test them all out in action as well. So here are the 5 champions that I decided on. Basically, these are 5 legendaries that I maxed out during Clan vs. Clan, and I'd always kind of been on the fence with all of them, right? So I have Killian the Lucky, I have Kira the Watcher, legendary dwarf. I have Morrigan, who's an undead legendary. I have Truoth, who is a dark elf legendary. And then I have Jag Bonesaw, an orc legendary, okay? It's not meant to be an in-depth champion review. However, I will do a review on all 5 of these champions on my champion guide channel, independently looking at them in several dungeons, etc., etc. So Killian the Lucky, man, he's an old school champion. I threw him in. I mean, I threw kind of everybody in random sets. What I did for this video is I farmed a lot of spider, and then I used all the silver for Clan vs. Clan, right? And the same for all these champions. So all these artifacts and accessories on every champion are freshly maxed out, meaning that I did not mule gear around. Anyway, some of the sets are a little bit unorthodox, but we'll talk about it as we go through. 1 righteous, 1 perception, and 1 accuracy. If we look at his total stats here, we have decent survivability, decent attack, 280 very fast, so he can be a control in the arena with block active skills, 107, 138, so he can do some damage, and 500 plus resistance so he can land his debuffs. He has a 2-turn stun, okay? And steals 50% of the target's turn meter. Resets the cooldown if the target is killed on his A3 Headringer. That is a very interesting ability, right? So I can't wait to try it out with you guys. We also have an AoE block active skills on a 4-turn cooldown, attack based on his A2, and then he's placing 2 buffs on himself at the start of each turn. All of these buffs are in play, right? So pretty cool champion. Has a decreased speed on his A1. You know, on top of all of that, I went with Temporal Chains for a mastery, and these, or excuse me, for a blessing, and these are the masteries that I went with. On Kira the Watcher, right? She is a massive, massive tank. So I built her with a decent amount of resistance, some survivability as well, and a little bit of speed, right? I mean, you guys can see the build. She needs accuracy too. She's kind of a weird champion where she's difficult to, it's difficult to build a champion when they need accuracy and crit rate and crit damage and survivability and speed, right?
Oh my God.
The good thing about her is I don't necessarily need the crit rate and the crit damage. However, I will say that this A2 is a 3.8 multiplier, defensive-based multiplier. That's like the same as like a Hosk rule in that territory, right? And her base defense is not too bad at 1409. So anyway, you can get some damage out of that ability if you want to build her in that way. We have a decreased attack on the A1, on the A2, and AoE, decrease the duration of all buffs by 1 turn, and then a decreased accuracy, all on top of that, right? So pretty unique for a support champion to have all those debuffs. And then she has an Ally Protect big version, obviously, and an increased defense big version, all on a 3-turn cooldown. So really good, similar to like Versolf the Grim or Tyrant Ixlamor's A3 ability, right? The Ally Protect and the increased defense. And then whenever an ally is attacked while under Ally Protection, plays the big version of decreased attack on the attacker for 1 turn. I like this passive. It's kind of like a mini Krisk passive.
I don't like where this is going.
Where, you know, we're just basically pumping out those decreased attacks whenever anybody's attacked under the ally protection, which is on a 3-turn cooldown. So really, really cool there. I went Intimidating Presence on her blessing, and those are the masteries that I went with. Pretty basic, right? Let's see. A 6-piece Stone Skin. You know what? I'm going to run these champions together in the arena, so I figured why not, right? So out the gate here, we've covered 2 of the 5 champions. What would you, I haven't heard nobody, I don't think anybody in the comments ever has asked me to do a guide on Kira the Watcher. I think probably half of you guys watching right now are like, who is this champion? Like, she kind of snuck in there, right? Sometimes they do that, Raid, Plarium. You sneaky, sneaky son of a jackal, Plarium.
I wasn't hiding it.
Killian, I imagine most of you guys have heard of. Anyway, we have Morrigan. Now, Morrigan, I pulled her recently, right? And I didn't go for it. Was she a fusion or something am I making that up? I think she was. Dude, She looks really cool. I ran her in triple perception with a lot of accuracy and a lot of speed, okay? So you can see here, 295 and 581. Some survivability on top of that, right? We have her skills. A decreased speed on the A1, good land rate, right? On the A2, 100% chance when booked of stealing all busts from one enemy, right? 100% chance of placing a true fear on all enemies, and then places a decreased accuracy if it's a boss instead. This is a really good ability, right? A3, even better here. 100% chance of decreasing the turn meter of all enemies by 20%, fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%, and places the big version of increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. It's very Lysandra-esque on the A3, right? The Energize ability. And then She Who Is Death. At the start of each turn, places 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns on the enemy with the lowest HP. This is very, very cool. This debuff cannot be removed, transferred, spread. It's basically a protected or whatever debuff, right? So, man, the heal reduction is not the sexiest debuff in the game. Let's be real. Like, I never go out there, you know, I guess very niche situations like Fire Knight or something, I will look for the heal reduction. But the fact that it's automatically going on the enemy with the lowest HP and it cannot be removed, that's very powerful. That's very powerful. She has speed in all battles by 19, and her base speed is 112. Very, very fast champion. I love fast champions in this game, right? I went with a all-out speed turn meter booster build on this champion. I'm excited for it. I went Cycle of Revenge to boost turn meter. I went Arcane Celerity to boost turn meter. And then I came all the way down and I picked up Timely Intervention as well. So she's just going to be a machine. The old Energizer Bunny Morrigan. Next up, we have, dude, I am a big fat dummy.
At least you know.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Guilty as charged. Punish me, Raid viewers. I made a video recently about the best healers in the game, and there were 2 there was probably a lot, according to you guys, according to the comments, there were a lot that I missed or whatever. There was 2 specifically that I really, truly missed, and one of them was Truoth. The other one was Manaya. Truoth might be the best healer in the game, so shame on me, but I slept so hard on this champion. We'll see how he does in battle. Dark Elf, again, Magic Affinity legendary champion, so why is this guy so good, Ash? On his A1, he heals his champion at 5% of max HP, 10% instead if they have 50% HP or less. On the A2, an AoE with a perfect veil on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Counterattack and a strengthen on this champion for 2 turns. On a 4-turn cooldown, okay? I want to say all perfect veils in the entire game on an AoE are on a 4-turn cooldown, so there's nothing surprising there. Good ability. On the A3, this in the passive is where I just totally slept on this champion, man. This is insane. Heals target ally by 20% of this champion's max HP. Then balances the HP of all allies to the ally with the highest HP. After balancing ally protection on the initial target for 2 turns. Okay, it's a good ability, but it's not broken, Ash. Like, why are you making a big deal out of this ability? Look at this passive. Decrease the cooldown of the A3 by 1 turn for every 10% HP this champion loses. Now, it is on a 1-turn cooldown, so if he loses like 40% HP, it's not automatically reduced. But that's really powerful, man. That allows him to get back to this in like 2 turns, you know, or depending on the situation, you know, it's really crazy, and this is one of the best heals in the game. It's almost like an AoE complete heal. Wow. That's really cool. That's really cool. I have to admit, when I first saw this guy's kit, I guess I must have glossed over it. You ever do that with a new champion? You just don't like get super involved. You don't have the champion, so who cares? Yeah, I just really underestimated him, I think. We'll see. I went support tree, I went HP, all the healing masteries down to Elixir of Life for more HP, and just to continue to maximize that HP, or maximize the utility of the HP, I should say, I threw the dude in a bolster set. What do you think about this guy's looks, anyway? It is a guy, right?
What do you think?
I'm not loving the aesthetic for whatever reason. I don't know. Call me a hater if you want to, but he just doesn't blow me away. Yeah, there's something very epic-y looking about him to me.
Look at the length of this animal. Just enormous.
Anyway, I digress. Jag Bonesaw. You guys saw when I opened this dude? I partied. I partied pretty damn hard. I was happy. But Jaggy, does he have? We know what we're looking for, aka a ton of damage. He is our nuker on the team. Killian can do some damage too, but he's our all-out nuker. Again, an Orc, Spirit Affinity, Legendary Attack Champion. I threw him in a Savage set. Total stats you can see here: crit rate, crit damage. Crit damage is not out of this world. His attack is good. He's not even that speedy. Frankly, he's not my best gear. He's kind of in hand-me-downs. So judge him a little bit on a curve. I would say this is more of a, I guess, mid to late game type build, whereas some of these are closer to the late game, I would say. Either way, let's go ahead and take a look to see what he does. He's stealing 10% of the target's turn meter on the A1. He has a chance of repeating the skill. On the A2, he's attacking 2 times. Before attacking, transfers all debuffs from this champion to the target. Damage from the first hit increased by 10 for each debuff transferred, okay? Then applies a debuff spread, taking 2 random debuffs from the target, placing them on all enemies. Damage from the second hit increased by 5% for each debuff transferred, and each debuff applied through the debuff spread. Okay, so we get the extra damage on the second hit from the debuff spread. On top of that, we get the debuff spread, a 2-time hitter. A lot going on there. On the A3, an AoE attack on a 4-turn cooldown. Before attacking, removing all buffs from all enemies. Damage increases by 5% for each buff removed. Fills the champion's turn meter by 15% for each enemy killed by this skill. You know what? I'm actually going to, while I show you his masteries, I need to pull up his multipliers really quickly. I went Helm Smasher, obviously, on this dude. I have to say, he got my attention, man. He got my attention. Very interesting kit. On his A1, guys, he has a 3.7, thanks to hellhades.com. He has a 3.7 godlike damage rating. He has a 3 plus the multiplier's godlike damage rating on the A2. And then he has a 4 godlike damage rating on the A3. That is very similar. That A3 reminds me very, very similar of Shemnath, right? Removing all buffs and then getting a good nuke in there. Now, I don't have a ton of accuracy on this dude, 221. I'm going to need more for him to be super effective, especially in the arena. You know what we're going to do right now? If I don't have accuracy on this banner, we're going to go ahead and slap it up there. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. As much as I love all that attack, you need accuracy to get the full utility out of this dude, right? I mean, it's all about, I lose a lot of speed. I only lose 1 speed, I'll take it. So this is the new banner. Voila! Get some attack, get some accuracy, right? We need that accuracy to be high because that's the whole point, right? He's not hitting hard as your typical nuker, but that's because he's removing all their buffs too, right? So let's see what he's got, guys. Let's start out in the arena. And then let's kind of, move our way around the game a little bit. So let's start easy and work our way up. None of these teams I would say are like super easy, but let's just go against this one here. All right, so this is the team that we have. We left out Kira. I think Kira's probably a bit more of a PvE champion. We'll see plenty of Kira in today's video, okay? And we're going to rank all these champions at the end in order of which, kind of if we were drafting these champions to start a new account or something like that. So we have Morrigan in the lead, speed in all battles, and then we have our nuker, our control, and our healer. Primarily, Truoth is in there over Kira, because you can make the same argument on Truoth that he is a PvE champion. He's in there because he has the bolster set, in case we don't go first. So we're going to lead off with the A3 of Morrigan. Great ability to lead off in the arena. We boost our turn meters. We're going to come in with, now this is cool. Killian the Lucky is he's the oldest champion out of everybody here, right? He's the only, not kind of new addition of the team. I love the 2-turn stun and the turn meter too. That's a very powerful ability. We could only target UDK with it. So at this point, I'd rather just go in with the A2 and place a block active skills on, well, at least 2 of them. We got a couple resists, or we got a resist there. Let's go ahead and now we have Truoth. Now his A2 again has that perfect veil, and so he can kind of tank for me. Wait, they don't even have a nuker, dude. Come on, man. I hate teams that don't have nukers in the arena. I mean, I'm not being that big of a, maybe I am. I'm gonna use Jag's A2 and see if we can steal all this stuff from Arbiter. Okay. Are we not stealing? No, we're transferring. Either way, we got that debuff transfer. That was pretty cool, right? All right. Morrigan has to steal, Ash. Come on! I'm sorry. Now we can steal everything, and we place a true fear on everybody. Dude, I have to say, man, we land that 2-turn stun on UDK. That's pretty cool. Morrigan's A2 is freaking good, man. Isn't it? So you steal everything and then you true fear everybody? That's really good. All right, here's Jag's A3. He removes all buffs and did some decent damage there, guys. What do you think? They have 2 revivers on their squad, so I don't know. Let's poke away at him a little bit here. I more just want to kind of get acquainted, get to know these champions a little bit, you know? So we don't really need a heal right now. So instead, let's go in with the A1 here. Just keep chipping away at UDK. I feel like that's what the arena is. Half of the arena in Rain Shadow Legends is chipping away at UDK. Let's go auto because, God, I'll be here for 25 minutes just finishing this one battle. But so far, how do you guys feel? Initial, we need to go into another battle to get a better feel. This is a super tanky team, but it was a good kind of way, again, to kind of get acquainted with everybody. I want to say out the gate here, who am I most impressed with? Morrigan, man. Morrigan. That ability to steal everything and then True Fear, like I said, I'm repeating myself at this point. But what is that A2 it's doing something else too, right? That decrease accuracy if it's a boss, right? That's a really nice second move after opening with Velocimancy. Velocimancy, obviously. Come on, let's go. What do you think, I'm an idiot? Velocimancy. Hello. I'm gonna go to the fridge and get me a Velocimancy after this.
Do you know what that means?
No.
They go first, we're dead. I think. We don't have a reviver and our nuker is deado, so that's not good. But we do have the best heal in the game. Maybe we can at least see the best heal in action. All right, so we have the block damage for 2 turns on my man here. You know, crazier things have happened. Let's go in with a AoE block active skills. Okay, we're gonna build a heal Killian up, which is nice. Let's do the heal. Wow. I mean, I'm acting surprised, but it's a complete heal. I mean, that's pretty damn good. It's complete. All right, who do we want to, I guess Ninja, right? We want a 2-turn Ninja that we don't have to deal with all that baloney. Or we can reset the cooldown. Now, Killian, that A3, need I remind you, we can reset the cooldown. Let's go in with the AoE here. Okay. That wasn't bad damage from True out there. Granted, they're a very squishy team. Okay. Now we can go, let's kill Sir Nick. I mean, it resets the ability, right? We can, boom, steal half his turn meter, 2-turn stun. Okay. So far, I'm liking this crop of champions, man. What do you guys think? Oh my God, guys. I gotta tell you, on a non-raid note for just a moment, I just had kindergarten orientation for my kiddo, guys. Ah, he's so big. He's so big. I love him to death. He's my world, my son, man. I mean, he's been on the channel before. You guys have seen him a little bit, right? He's so cute, man. He's a big boy now. He's a big boy, and it's crazy, and it's awesome. The thing about my son, though, Charlie is his name. He's never been around kids. He doesn't have any siblings, and he's usually with myself or his mom, and that's it. And we're kind of like his social network are us, kind of, right? And half his life was COVID, you know? This is a nice, easy one. Boom. Almost everybody's dead here. We'll put it on auto. So, like, I went out to the playground after orientation, the parents and the kids separated, and he was by himself, man. Like, all the other kids were playing together. And he was kind of just chilling by himself. He wasn't like mad or sad, but I don't know. Any parents out there have any advice there? It breaks my heart. I know it sounds stupid, but it's like as a dad, as a parent, you really hope that your kid makes good friends, or just one friend, like one good friend. And I'm sure it won't be an issue. He's a great kid, you know, but it still breaks your heart, you know. Anyway, let's get back to the raid. All right, refresh the list. Give me something good here. Give me something good, something juicy. Another no nuke team. All right, here's a team that's juicy and good. Hopefully they don't go first, though. They're probably gonna go first. I don't even have I keep forgetting I don't have an arbiter here. Let's see. Trund is gonna, no, maybe not. Okay. Here we go. Wait, how did Truoth go first there? Okay. Let's go with, yeah, let's just go block active skills on everybody. That's the way to go, right? Of course, Trunda didn't get it. She's gonna hurt me, guys. Nope. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's go in with the A3. And then, I mean, yeah. Boom. Oof, that was good. That was good. Removing all skills like that is just really, really nice. Marish is going to revive them, and we're going to have to deal with a Trunda hit. She kills Morrigan, but we have the rest of the team still standing here. I'm still standing. Bigger than I've ever been. I forgot the next word. Stronger than I've ever been. Taller than I've ever been. What is it? Better than I ever did. Love Elton. I just can't think of the lyrics. Let's just keep poking away at Arbiter. So far, guys, you know what? Let's do one. I lied. Let's do one more quick arena battle, and put in poor Kira, right? I mean, she's supposed to be spotlit here too. It was pretty cool how we won against that really good team, like all really good champions, when they went first. That was cool. All right, let's just go against this squad here, and let's take Truoth. It's been real, buddy. I mean, you impressed. I gotta say, you impressed. Did you guys think he was impressive? I thought he was pretty cool, man. I enjoyed playing you in the arena. I mean, it wasn't like a broken arena champion or anything like that, but I mean, that heal's really good, and that A2 is not bad either. All right, let's do the same thing here. Just an AoE block active skills. See if we... Okay, we landed on... I could just figure that Duchess was going to resist. She didn't. So now, we have no bolster here, but we do have 2-turn Stone Skin, which is perfect to go in with the A3. However, I could decrease the duration of all enemy buffs, place a decreased accuracy. Decreased accuracy would be kind of nice against Nishak, but do I tempt it? Yeah, they don't have enough nukage. I'm going to go A2. Now we land the decreased accuracy. Now we can go in with the nuke. How do you feel about Jag so far, guys? I'm kind of undecided on Jag. Kind of undecided. He's not blowing, I'm going to be real. He's not blowing me away with the damage, you know? 2-turn stun on their reviver, or one of their revivers. The other reviver's dead. And now we can place the ally protect and the increased defense on everybody, right? Very nice support here from Kira, you know? The question is her A2 good enough on Kira? Is her A2 good enough to justify building her if you already have options like a Verself the Grim or a Tyrant, who I mentioned earlier? There's other champions who have similar, you know, type of supports, but really quickly, the reason I'm saying that is I just pulled Truoth, by the way. Let me get that. Am I the only anal one that I hate the little red dots in this game on my index? Yeah, so Verself's A3. The reason I keep comparing is increased defense, ally protect on a 3-turn cooldown, the exact same ability. We have provokes on the passive. We have a 2-time hitter with a leech on the A2. I would put Kira like really in the same conversation in terms of the overall power index. Now, obviously, Tyrant is quite a bit different. The rest of his kit with HP burns and stuff, but the same ability again. Increased defense, ally protect, 3-turn cooldown. I would take Tyrant over the 3 of them, but they're all good. They're all incredible, and one's force affinity, one's spirit affinity, one's magic affinity, right? So at least you have the affinity, you know, justification as well. Let me go ahead and run them in a, I want to run them in 2 other areas. I want to run them against Dark Fae in Doom Tower Hard, because I think that all 5 of these champions are pretty dang good against Dark Fae, right? I also want to run a quick, I could do 25, stage 25. I actually did before this, but it took like 20 minutes. There's not enough damage on this team. So I'm going to do Ice Golem 20. The cool thing is with a team like this, forget about it, man. The waves are just going to be a breeze. Gonna be a breeze, you know? So let me come back to you guys when we actually get to the Ice Golem. All right, guys, here we are against the Ice Golem. So let's go over the lineup. Let me shrink myself down a little bit here. I'm hogging poor Kira's FaceTime again, or airtime, or whatever. So we have Jag over here. We have Truoth, who just went. Morrigan in the middle. We have Killian the Lucky over here. And then we have Kira on the left, as you mentioned. What was the name of his passive? Is it Semi-Charmed Life? Don't make me sing again on the video. Doot 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 doot. Can you tell I'm an 80s, 90s child here? Third Eye Blind, man. I saw them in concert back when I was a young college student. Anyways, this is easy. This is easy, man. Semi-Charmed Life. He's got the ability. Is it just Charmed Life? Am I adding the semi? Anyway, the lead singer of Third Eye Blind dated or was married to like my high school teacher's daughter. There's a trivia fact that nobody needed to know. All right, so, you know, yeah, we can take a punch easily. It's just a matter of waiting for the damage on this squad, right, guys? I imagine Jag is going to have the most damage by far, and then I imagine after that it's going to be Killian, and then, yeah, and then a lot of healage from Truoth, right? I haven't noticed, there hasn't really been a need for Truoth to heal, like, rapidly, but Truoth in a vacuum, this dude would actually be good as a support champion in Ice Golem Hard, like an area where you really do need to heal quite a bit, you know? You could use him in other areas, basically anytime that you need a lot of healage, right? So shame on me for not including him in on the healer list. You can see he just did it again right there. And once it gets hit, right, you're gonna see, keep your eye on Truoth. When he gets hit, as long as he loses 10% of HP with all this increased defense baloney and ally protect baloney, it's gonna reduce that skill, right? Because almost all the time he's going to be hit for over 10% decreased cooldown. It didn't even look like 10%. It looked like less than that. But it still decreased the cooldown of that A3, right? So it brings it already down to a 3 or a 2 turn. So now he should have it, I think, on the next one. Let's see. Maybe he should. I'm not even sure if he'll use it. Let's just take it off. Yep. He had the HP balance already off cooldown. He just used it. You know, that's pretty cool. All right, guys, I'll come back to you at the end and we can see the total stats and move on to Dark Fae. All right, guys, here we go. It is done. We have Jag as we expected. Actually, look at that. Jag and Killian are very, very close. It's very interesting there, huh? Truoth with 1 million in heals, no big deal. So, yeah, very impressed with Killian, most of all there, in terms of the stats. Not to mention the block active skills and what he's bringing to the table there. So, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and go into a Dark Fae battle. And as we do, I think we've seen a decent amount here. Let's go to, this is the hardest Dark Fae that I have available right now. It is floor 80, the hardest Dark Fae outside of the final boss, right? And let's put the same team in. As we do, let's rank these champions. I'm very curious where you guys would go on these champs. If you were starting a brand new account and you could pick them, draft them. They're all very different, so it's unfair, but it's fun. I would go with, I'm gonna start with number 5, okay? Number 5 for me would be, I might shock some of you guys with this. I might. But I would go Jag, number 5. I'm a little bit let down. I mean, he's really cool. He's not a bad nuker. I like that he removes buffs and has that debuff spread. Maybe I need to play around with him a little bit more. But I think that he is, I think there's a lot of good nukers in the game, you know? I guess that's what it comes down to. That buff remove is great. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, but it is good nonetheless. But I just think that like a champion like Killian for around the same amount of damage just brings a little bit more to the table, you know? And the block active skills, the 2-turn stun, all the buffs that he has on his passive and stuff like that. So I would pick him last. Next up, I would pick Kira. I feel like Kira. I just feel like there's a lot of really, really good ally protection options out there in the game. She's definitely a solid champion. Like, there's no doubt about it that she's not, like, this is the cool thing about this video, right? Is I didn't know this going in, but I don't think any of these champions are below average. Even like Killian stuff, who I would have said before this video that he's probably maybe average to below average, maybe a C- I would have given him. I think I would give him a little bit higher than that now. By the way, let me concentrate here. Let's do the AoE with block active skills. Oh, we missed it on Morrigan. So let's go in with a... yeah, I could just probably A2 it here, right? Yeah, kill some of them. And then we can... let's just keep AoE attacking here. Once I kill my mirror images, we should be good with this squad. Just a little worried. You never know. Okay, so I go Kira. But it's close. After Kira, I would go with Truoth as number 3, right? Truoth was a really cool healer, like one of the best in the game, you know? And brings quite a bit more in the A2 as well, right? That Perfect Veil is very good. Great for Hydra as well, I would imagine, right? With the heals and the Perfect Veil. I feel like he takes the cake. I was surprised because going into this, I would have probably said, if I had to guess at the order that I would choose, I wouldn't have picked, I would have picked Kira over Truoth. But I think Truoff is a little bit cooler of a champion, personally. All right, and then I would go number 2, Killian the Lucky, right? He surprised me this video, man. Like, he has a lot of utility outside of, like, Arena. Outside the 2-turn stun alone with the reset on that ability, too. It's a cool ability. And the steal, the turn meter steal, too. I mean, he's great against Dark Fae, right? With the turn meter steal, you'll see it. But I would go number 1, or number 1, I would go Morrigan. That heal reduction that can't be removed is so money. I love it. But that's just the you know, the icing on top of her kit, right? I love that she has that beautiful A3, the Lissandra-esque A3. And that A2 is really good too, you know? She's very comparable to Lissandra in some ways, you know? She's different too. Like, obviously, Lissandra has the exhaustion ability where she 100% turn mirror manipulate, depletion. And then, but we have the buff steal, the true fear. True fear is really powerful as well, right? And the accuracy against bosses, the decreased accuracy instead. I have to say, yeah, that would be the order that I go with. And I don't know, maybe, what would you guys do? Am I being too hard on Jag, Buzzsaw, whatever the heck his name is? I was so excited. It's you know what part of this is too? It's that movie that you go to and your expectations are through the roof, and then you're like, it was pretty good. And that was me with Jag, you know? Maybe my expectations were so high that I'm unfairly judging him, but the damage was just not that great, you know, frankly. And now everybody has Sun Wukong, right? And that's an issue because when you're looking at Jag, because Sun Wukong is stealing all the buffs, not just removing them. And he's coming back to life and doing all other kinds of stuff. Did a lot of damage on his A2 as well, right? So I feel like that's part of the pain when it comes to ranking. And that's why I mentioned that, you know, he's really not that special, I don't think, you know, comparing to a champion that everybody's going to get for free anyway. Anyway, let me come to you guys at the end of this battle. I think it's done for the most part. I assume this team could work incredibly effectively against the final boss as well, the final Dark Fae. It's just going to take a little bit of time, so I'll be right back. Well, wouldn't you know, guys, I stepped away. My team was cloned. I don't think I've ever taken this long to beat Dark Fae, or I'm not going to beat Dark Fae. So it took so long that my team came back, and I didn't pay attention. I didn't take it off auto, and I died. So big fail to end the video. We could have, should have, would have won had I paid attention, but we didn't. So let's just see the final stats here. I imagine they're going to be pretty much the same in terms of what we see damage-wise. Killian out-damaged Jag in that battle. Very cool stuff there. Take into consideration, though, that Jag was attacking magic as well, so maybe that was part of the reason. But still, man, very impressed with Killian's damage and control. The heals of Truoff, of course. Morrigan, what she brings to the table does not show up in the stat sheet at all, but hey, she's my first choice. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see, you know, more videos like this where I max random champions, random rarities, and I rank them. Guys, thank you for watching all the way till the end, and as always, take care, guys.